Mama Jan Smith is a nationally recognized singer, songwriter, and musician. She is a Grammy-nominated producer, inductee of the GA Music Hall of Fame, and multi-platinum certified vocal coach. Owner of Jan Smith Studios in Atlanta, she has worked with renowned artists such as Usher, Justin Bieber, and Shania Twain. Mama Jan is a sought-after speaker and media guest with credits including MTV's Duets and Paramount Never Say Never. She continues to provide vocal consultations worldwide and develop aspiring artists under Mama Jan Music. Jan Smith Studio stands as the largest roster of charting artists among vocal coaching facilities in America. Now, for the very first time on the Making Musical Quantum Leaps podcast, bringing a beautiful insights and expertise to your ears, the inspiring Mama Jan. Welcome, Mama Jan. Thank you so much for making it to the Making Musical Quantum Leaps podcast.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here with you all today.
So there's a whole lot I want to talk about. I do not know how this 30 minutes is going to be enough, but let's trust God. We're going to work perfectly. We're going to work perfectly with it. So, Mama, please take me back because I went through your biography and I'm just wow. Mm-hmm. You've accomplished so much, like so much. So please take me back. How did it all start? How did you venture into coaching? Is it something you've always wanted to do? Or, I don't know, maybe you had an epiphany? Okay.
No, not at all. I grew up like probably many of your listeners as a young artist myself. I was musically talented as a child, and I grew up in Southern Baptist churches, and so I was exposed to gospel music at a very young age and always loved music. Then I started playing ukulele, then guitar, and started writing songs, little songs when I was about 9 years old. Wow. And that proved to be just the way that I learned to express myself. And so music became my vehicle. And by the time I was 15 years old, I recorded my first record. And then I started playing more rock music and played in different bands. And all throughout high school and through college, I played and performed with bands, and then had a band of my own that toured and did a lot of work with other musicians that way. I ended up being in other studios, helping other artists record, their vocals, and it just kind of became a natural thing for me to help other people. I thought that I was pursuing my own music career as an artist. What God was doing was honing my skill set so that I could help others to pursue theirs. And so as I was still performing and touring and working as an artist, an opportunity came up for me to work at a rock guitar school to help one student who was losing his voice. And I thought that I could probably be helpful, and was, and then started working with several other guitar, players who were losing their voices, and sort of got known as the rock vocal coach in Atlanta, Georgia. And from there, it just turned into a whole business. It was a process over years and years, but it was really just a matter of helping other people, to be honest with you. And that's what God blessed me with.
Oh. That's amazing. I just finished talking with Justin Stoney, not like the podcast is about Justin Stoney, and he said something similar. I do not think it's actually obvious. God calls us to do a lot of stuff, mm-hmm. And I believe vocal coaching is one delicate thing God calls us to, because it's not easy for someone to entrust their voices and say, take my voice and make something good out of it. It's just
right. Yeah.
It's phenomenal. Vocal coaches, people do not see it, but vocal coaches they are unsung heroes. They do a whole lot of job. Thank God for people like you. So you've seen, and you're also a vocal producer. I saw that. It's mind. It's just, you are a lot of things. When I was going through your bio, I was like, how are you doing tell this. But then again, the scripture says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So God has indeed strengthened you for this particular work that he has called you to do. So I want to move on to another question. I have a friend of mine who went for the Idols, for Nigerian Idol. And when he went, she's actually a good singer, but I don't know, I wasn't there, so I cannot really say how he performed and all that. But the judges made a statement. I know that statement is so wrong. It's going to lead me into the question I want to ask. So they said something like, they said he was, he had talent, but he was not talented. And I'm like, what on earth is that supposed to mean? They just told him he had talent, and they also said he wasn't talented. Which brings me to this question. You've seen a lot of voices come in your studio and go out. Come in, go out. You've seen a lot of talent per se. For crying out loud, you literally worked with big voices like Usher and Justin Bieber. So how do you see someone and say this person has a talent for this? Is it just based on how they sound, or there's a passion behind it, or there's something else that people do not? How do you see? Because some people say she saw his hidden potential, or she saw something somebody else was not seeing. So you are a vocal producer. How do you see someone and tell that this person is going to be a big voice? This person going through training, this person is actually meant to do this.
Yeah, I don't know that there's a way to say whether or not someone's going to be successful. Success comes about as a result of how the public responds to an artist. There are many good singers and good artists who never receive the support of a major audience, and so it's not something that anyone in the industry or world, nobody can really predict that. I think that we, the people who have been in the industry long enough, when we see an artist who has something that's uniquely different, they either sound different, or they perform differently, or they are very tenacious. They are very, they persevere. So sometimes it's their sound, they sound different or look different. We can usually look at the artist and think, this may be something that the public is going to respond to. But then again, you can't really know that until you put a product out, until you put the artist out and see how the general public is going to respond. The public is what makes stardom happen. I don't make people stars. I work with a lot of them, but I don't make them stars. I help to make them excellent at what they do in their pursuits. And so there's a real distinctive difference between, success and what makes that happen. And it's a lot of hard work. It's perseverance and all of those things. But I don't think that anybody can really predict that. I think that we can look at an artist and know that somebody has something special that might be out of the ordinary, and we can cultivate that and help them develop that. But we can't make the public buy it.
Wow, that's amazing. So the public, the audience has a lot to play in the making of a star. Not just
that's correct.
Not just the star, not just the training, not just the coach, but the audience has a lot to play. That's really amazing. That's mind opening.
Yes.
That's mind. Okay. Brings me to the next question. You just spoke about uniqueness, how that you see someone and you discover that they have a unique way of going about how they sing or how they do what they do. So you've worked with a lot of stars, you've worked with a lot of stars. How do you help them hone their uniqueness? Because we live in a world where everyone wants to sound like someone. Students walk into your studio, they walk to you and they tell you, how do you make me sound? I want to sound like this person. Make me sound like this person. Teach me how to sound like this person. How do you bring out the diamond in the rough? How do you bring out the gold from the furnace? How do you bring out the uniqueness that is inside of them? or not just you, even themselves? How do you think singers can bring out their own uniqueness and not just about mimicking or trying to sound like someone else?
Right, and I think that is the key, is not to sound like someone else. If you sound like someone else, you're not being uniquely yourself. I do think that a lot of young artists want to sound like whoever is famous or whoever is the star of the moment. And while I do believe that we learn by imitation, I think that's a good thing, because you develop certain skill sets by singing like other people. But ultimately, an artist has to be uniquely themselves. And so what we do at the studio is we really work hard to help those artists find their own vocal thumbprint, so that we help them to hone their skill set, to find out what their voice and their best style is, and to really lean into that process and to cultivate the skill set so that they are uniquely themselves, their own voice, not sounding like someone else. Because especially in pop music, but also, in any music, pop, rock, R&B, hip hop, worship music, it doesn't, you want to listen to someone who is different, who is unique, who sounds distinctively like a different artist. And so we help artists discover their own vocal stylizing and their own vocal thumbprint.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I would ask you what your secrets to making it big in the music world is, and how can artists follow in your footsteps. Well, you already said one part of it. I don't know if there's more to it. You said the audience are part of what determines the making of stars. So I would like to know if there's more to that, because I cannot really. You have a very unique and beautiful journey. So I cannot really say there's this big secret that you had and you put into the work. Normally, if you'd ask people this, especially Christians, if you ask them this kind of questions, they'll tell you, it's the grace of God. I didn't earn it. No, it's the grace of God. Yes, I know the grace of God. It is true.
Yes,
it is true. It is very true. But the question here, the question here is there, what are the intentional steps you made on this beautiful, remarkable journey of yours?
I think that for me, we were talking about two different things. As an artist, I believe that your appeal to an audience and building a following is the most crucial thing, and having a product, having music that people are going to respond to that means something to them. I think as a professional in the industry, my role is somewhat different, and I believe that what has made me successful long term in the music industry is the fact that I offer a service that tends to be sought after by people because of my skill set and ability to deliver results for the artist and for the labels, for the companies that bring their artists to me. If I weren't doing something successful for other people, I would not be in business. And so, yes, I believe that God honed my skill set as an artist so that I had the vernacular to be able to speak into the lives of artists, and also the business skill set to be able to relate to their to relate to their managers and to record labels, and have those people trust me with the work. But at the end of the day, it's, do I deliver or not? And making sure that I'm able to, help the people who are asking for my help is what's kept me in business.
Oh, thank you so much, Mama. You've worked with, speaking about stars, you've worked with a lot of stars. You've worked with people like Justin Bieber, Shania Twain, Usher. Working with these people, are there some traits or some character or skill set or behavior you think every vocalist, every training, every growing vocalist should imbibe? Are there specific, wonderful, unique character that these people have that you think every vocalist should imbibe?
I think the most important thing for artists is not to give up. Number one, to do it because you love it. To pursue singing and recording because it's something that you love to do. And making money it's important, but it's a byproduct of doing something that you love, that you're good at. And being good at it means working at it, conditioning, making sure that you're doing the right things to be a great vocal athlete. The artists that I work with are they work at it. They work at their skill set. They make sure that they are excellent, that they are above and beyond. So making sure that you're prepared to take advantage of the opportunities that are presented. It's incredibly important that you're ready. And a lot of people are not ready, and the opportunity presents itself, and then people fail because they're not prepared. Yeah. So I do think that most of the artists that I work with are very tenacious. They are driven people. They work at it. They recognize the necessity to develop the skill set for what they're doing, and to be better, to always strive to be better. Usher is one of those vocal athletes who always strives to better his last performance. He always wants to be better. He always wants to raise the bar. And so I think that to make sure that you apply yourself that way, and to always give it your best.
Oh, thank you so much, Mama. Our time is already off. Oh God, I have so much to say. Okay. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Just a final word for what you said just now is actually quite sufficient. We could close on that. That's just beautiful. We need to be tenacious and be ready when opportunity presents itself. So one final word for someone going through, I don't know, their growing stage, because the growing stage is always not easy. Some people I've actually seen singers grow from not being able to even sing on key to very beautiful and amazing songwriters. So a final word for someone who is growing and in that part of their journey where it seems as though they are not making progress, it seems as though nothing is happening at that level that they are. So a final word, something to just tell them it's only going to get better if they remain tenacious and patient. We're closing on that.
I think that to be encouraged is to strive to do your best, to always better your game, to never criticize yourself to the point to where you're defeated, but to always surround yourself with people who are excellent at what they do, so that you can aspire to be excellent as well, and to learn. I believe that knowledge is power, and the application of that is what makes people successful. So learn everything that you can about your craft, and then make application of that.
Oh, wow. All right. Thank you so much. It's been an amazing talk with you. Thank you so much for coming up on the Making Music Quantum Leap podcast. We have made an actual quantum leap. Thank you so much, Mama. We love you so much.
Thank you so much for having me today.
All right. Thank you so much. Bye.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Hey guys, trust you had an amazing session. Trust you enjoyed listening to her as much as I enjoyed speaking to her. It was amazing. Although quite short, but I have spoken to her about having her some other time, and we're trusting God we're going to have her probably in the month of April or May. So whichever it is, let's just get prepared. It's going to be a big event also. It might be a Twitter Space, Instagram Live, Facebook Live, just one of it. Because there's still so much to glean. I didn't even talk about vocal registers because there was no time. So probably some other time we're going to talk about other things, because we'll be done with vocal registers by then. So until then, I wanted to ask if you have finally subscribed or followed us on every podcast listening platform. You have no excuse. There's no way you cannot find us. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Audiomack, and so many other podcast listening platforms. Alright, mi amigos, I have to go now. Let's prepare for the other part. I really cannot tell you which one is going to come up first, if it's going to be Justin or Joel Okwegwali or Mama Chisari. There's still so much. Alright guys, bye!